Now what will it be? Death or exile?
All right, we're gonna start with the...
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to.
Should we not follow the advice of the galactically stupid?
You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Worst part of it is they're gonna blame us for the whole thing. And they can't have people knowing the truth. We're the excommunicated. The cover-up. Don't forget, we're the exiles.
Very well. Death by exile.
Welcome to another installment of the Film Exiles podcast. I'm here tonight with Millennial Mike. How you doing, man?
Howdy, howdy.
How you doing, brother?
Doing great. I'm so happy to get to introduce one of our new friends.
Well, you know, I'll let you go for it. Go ahead, since you're always like trying to like steal my thunder.
Well, let me introduce our main man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, Pranav. How's it going, man?
Hey, Mike. How are you?
How did he get all that? The myth, the legend, and so on and so forth, that he hasn't even done an episode yet?
Hey, we've been shining the Pranav signal way before he even knew who we were.
I think that's too much of an inside joke for us to put it out there just yet. But for now, it's good to finally get you on. How you doing tonight?
I'm fine, Manu. Thank you.
Or this morning on your side of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing about the Exiles. We are a global corporation.
Yeah, it's 10 a.m. here. I'm doing fine.
Oh, that's crazy. So tonight we decided that we were just gonna have a little bit of fun, and we tweeted out from the Exiles page. And we asked all of our followers and listeners and contributors or whatever exactly what was the films that they love to rewatch the most. And we had a lot of replies, and we had a lot of people that were engaged, and we just thought it would be a really great idea to just share some of the answers that we got and share some of our own favorite movies that we rewatch all of the time. So we're not gonna keep you guys too long today, and we're just gonna dive right in and go right into it. But before we get into your replies, Mike, why don't you start and you tell us some of the movies that you've rewatched the most?
So when we first did this, it was kind of funny because I had to think pretty hard. Because one of the things that I say the most about a film and its quality is that if I can rewatch the film, then it's a good quality film, in my opinion. Like, that's one of the biggest factors of a good film. But when I actually thought about films that I've rewatched the most, they weren't necessarily the films that I felt like I wanted to watch the most or that I thought that I could, but actually movies that I watched when I was younger. Probably one of my most rewatched movies was Finding Nemo. Most of the reason why that's the case is because it wasn't just a movie that I watched, but a movie that I watched with my family when it first came out in theater.
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. Yeah, and this is coming from anti-Disney Millennial Mike. So,
are you sure you want to put that out there on the airwaves that you're really that anti-Disney?
Nah, who cares? You know. I mean, just look at my Twitter avatar.
Yeah, you're gonna wake up one morning with like messages burned into your grass.
But no, I mean, I love Disney animation. Even now, I love Pixar animation. One of my favorite movies. I'd say top 5 movies would be Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3 is that's a great film.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? It didn't make my top 5. Actually, it was like I had a hard time putting it with the rest of the films, but it's up there. Like it's gotta be like top 10, because it wasn't in my top 5. My Exile,
It wasn't in your top 3.
yeah,
Yeah, Exile 3
yeah.
wasn't there. Yeah,
I don't
sure.
think it's in my top 5 either. But regardless, so yeah, and I really enjoyed watching Finding Nemo with my family. It was always on at one point in the living room where my sister or my brother would be watching it, and it just due to circumstance, it just something that I always end up seeing on. I sat down and I watched it, and I could get to a point where I could quote every line.
Yep.
So it just, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's not necessarily a film that I analyzed or anything in that way. It's just a film that I really enjoyed the experience of, and it was kind of more of a lifestyle when I was watching it.
I get that. I can totally relate. I think growing up, it was similar with The Lion King and Aladdin. I remember one summer, my mother took me and my sister and my brother to Senegal to visit our family, and all we took with us were just a couple of videotapes. So I think we spent like the month that we were there, we watched Aladdin and The Lion King every single day for like a month because that's all we had with us. Pranav, what about you? Some of the films that you've rewatched a lot of.
Okay. My mom and my dad tell me that when I was a baby, like 2 3 years old, I used to constantly cry, right? And they used to put on Lion King, and I would stop crying, right? And I would watch the whole movie, and as soon as the credits roll by, I start crying again. So they rewind the tape and they restart it, and they say I've seen it at least 40 times. But yeah, that might be one of my most watched movies.
So you
Um,
must have been excited this past week when the trailer for the new one came out.
oh, oh,
What was that?
I did not like that trailer.
But why not?
Hey,
I don't know.
your lawn can join my lawn and flames.
I think you'll
This
have a
looks.
harder time getting to his lawn than yours, Mike.
What? Wait.
Animal.
Disney shows aren't in India also?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Actually, you know what? You're right. I don't think they'll let something like distance get in their way. Okay, so sorry, Pranav. Carry on. So, The Lion King. Is there any other ones?
Yeah. My most favorite animated movie and probably my most rewatch animated movie would be Balto.
I
Uh,
don't even know what Balto is.
Balto is it's one of those movies, the last movie that Spielberg had his own animation studio, right?
Oh
It
yeah.
was Amblimation,
Hmm.
Amblin
Yeah.
Animation. Yeah. So they produced like 4 movies till 1997 when they got shut down, and this was their last movie that
Oh
they.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, all right.
So,
I actually never heard of Balto, but I just got schooled by Pranav on his first pod. That's why you're a myth and a legend.
Well, isn't Balto about the dog?
yeah, it's based on a real event that happened during the 1920s. Let me check. 1920s, yeah. There was this diphtheria outbreak in Alaska, right? And because you know how Alaska is, right? Because of the heavy snowfall and because of the season, they couldn't get the vaccines or medication in time, so they had to use the sleds with huskies and the
Yeah, that's the one with War Machine, right?
War
uh,
Machine? You
Yeah.
mean Don Cheadle or the
No,
other
no,
one?
no, 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 no.
Terrence Howard?
Yeah. That's right, right.
I don't think Terrence Howard can be can be known as War Machine. He never wore the suit.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I did not. I said Don Cheadle at first. So obviously I don't know who you were talking about.
Okay, well, you figured it out.
I mean, on my second guess.
It's pretty good to me. But
um,
yeah, so Terrence, was that the one with him? Because he was in the movie, right?
Oh, which movie?
Balto.
Balto.
Terrence? I don't think so. No.
Mm, mm, mm,
Or
mm.
no, that was Snow Dogs. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Mike,
yeah.
next
Yeah,
time, baby.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Snow Dogs and Balto is probably a pretty big difference.
Okay, so we talked about films that we've accidentally rewatched. Okay, what about like which movies have you wanted to rewatch that you like either put in? Well, I'm older than you guys, so like the VCR that you kept putting in there until like it wouldn't work no more, or the DVD that you kept playing over and over again until it got scratched. Like what is that movie for you guys?
You go first, P.
um,
You gonna put the myth and the legend on the spot like that, Mike? Damn.
That's why he's the myth and the legend.
He can handle it.
Hmm.
Mine is the obvious answer. BVS. That's simple.
All right, shut the pod down.
Yeah, we done, man. Everybody go home. Good
Yeah, we've
night,
said enough incendiary things for one night.
Disney haters, and like, in what world is like BVS the obvious answer?
No,
Oh,
like knowing,
like,
you know, as this massive DC fanboy, yeah, BVS is like the obvious answer.
so BVS more than like the Dark Knight, more than Superman 78, more than Man of Steel.
Whenever I get like a bit sad or whenever I'm happy or whatever, whatever the occasion is, I just put it on and I just watch the whole 3 hour movie.
So so when you get sad, your go-to movie is Batman v Superman.
Yes.
Hashtag exile for a reason.
Oh man.
Wow. Okay. I mean, hey, that's a bold thing to say. I appreciate it. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Okay. Mike, what about you? Since
Um,
what is it for you?
Probably Tom Hooper's Les Miserables.
Uh,
Really? Is that the one with Jackman?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. I
Oh.
see like musicals, like the musical number aspect of it. It's kind of like you just the deja vu kicks in and you just get in that mode again. That's kind of how it is with simple movies like Finding Nemo and things like that. It just like you watch it and it just kind of puts you in this like in that zone, and that's kind of how it is with musical numbers because like the musical numbers kind of kick in and you kind of just get in that zone. Les Miserables is not a super like layered movie, but it's very emotional movie and it's very large in its presentation. So when you watch it, it just makes you like feel a certain way. At least it does for me. It's pretty sentimental, And I can't get enough of Anne Hathaway's "I Dream the Dream." Like that song is so great. Like I listen to that song on my phone like so often. Like
That's
so
what won her the Oscar.
yeah, I know it's
That's
amazing.
that's what won her the Oscar. Okay, that's a great choice. I love Les Miserables. Like ever since I saw it on Broadway when I was living in New York, like it's such a fantastic story, and it's just amazing how it's a very it's about the French Revolution, but till today, it's still very relevant and still has a way of hitting home.
Oh yeah.
I think mine would be first and foremost Mask of Zorro with Antonio Banderas, Anthony Hopkins, Catherine Zeta-Jones. I think it's the first film that I saw in theaters without my parents. That it was just me and one of my friends. We went into the city to go watch it. and it just left such an indelible impression on me. I was so taken away by the breathtaking sets and the soundtrack and the action and the movements. And I remember getting the VCR and I watched that thing to death again and again and again. When my family moved to Nigeria, I remember it was one of the DVDs that I bought to bring with me. And in the first few months before we were settled, before we had cable or anything, I used to pop it in and watch it all of the time. I love that movie. I think that it's vastly underrated. I don't think it gets talked about enough. Um, do you guys think that Zorro fits in the whole superhero comic book movie genre?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah. I
you
mean,
know,
he's a
yeah.
vigilante, right?
Yeah,
I feel like comic book movies nowadays have become very, very, very specific, you
yeah,
know? So
Yeah.
I think that no, it doesn't fit into a modern day superhero movie, but I think the essence of what a superhero movie or comic book movie is, yeah, absolutely. Like there's a lot of movies that fit into that paradigm. I mean, The Incredibles could be considered that. I mean, even like movies like Chronicle, you know,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
could fit into that. Unbreakable, you know.
Unbreakable.
I mean, there's a lot of movies that can fit into that paradigm that, you know, that don't even have a. They're not even an adaptation. They just kind of carry the spirit of a superhero film or a superhero story.
Yeah, definitely. I see what you mean. And plus, if there's no Zorro, there's no Batman, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And another one, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this movie. It's called Rushmore
I think I've
with
heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it.
with Bill Murray. It's about like Bill Murray and this high school student create this bond, and they're both in love with the high school student's teacher, and they're both kind of like vying for her attention, and it's like a dark comedy. It's yeah, I think it was released in like 1998.
You
Yeah,
should just
99.
download the IMDb app. You know, it makes it easier.
Yeah, yeah, it was 1998. It was actually directed by Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Wes Anderson. Yeah, it's a really out there movie, and I really don't know why, but it just stuck with me, and I just love to watch it and just laugh along with it. No, it's that.
His movies have a lot of well, at least I won't say his movies because I there's only two that I know that are attached to his name, like off the top of my head, which would be the last two he did, Fantastic Mr. Fox and Isle of Dogs.
Isle of
You
Dogs
know,
is awesome. Isle of
both
Dogs
those,
is so good. Isle of Dogs is gonna be on
yeah.
my top 10 of the year. Isle of Dogs is I don't think many people saw that movie, but it was really it's such a standout. It's
Yeah.
like completely different. The story and the parallels that they're making, it's such an interesting story, and the twists of it. I did not expect. Like I only saw it because I had 2 hours to kill between meetings, and so I went to see it, and I was just completely taken away with it.
No, and his stuff is like Fantastic Mr. Fox. I think has a certain charm to it. You know, that
Mhm.
it just whenever you watch it, it just doesn't ever lose its novelty ever. I just if that's how all of his movies are, then you know that's got a serious. He's got a formula going that works really well.
Yeah, you should check it out. You should check out Rushmore. I think you'd enjoy it.
And he did the Grand Budapest Hotel too, right?
I actually have not seen that one.
Oh, yeah, it has this quality to it. It's it's like his aesthetic, right?
Hmm.
Many might not enjoy it, but it's really charming, you know?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Like I feel like all of his films have that. Like I think Rushmore is the same.
Yeah.
Like it has like this charming quality that because because some of the characters are not that likable. Like it's really
Mm.
hard to like root for like the lead in Rushmore. It's very
Yeah.
hard to root for him, and yet you don't dislike him either.
Mm.
Hmm.
Um, Yeah, just a couple more I'd like to add. American Beauty is another one with Kevin Spacey.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another favorite of mine. I've watched that movie way more times than I want to count. The Negotiator again with Kevin Spacey and Samuel L. Jackson. Uh,
Oh,
and there was one more that I wanted to say, but it kind of slipped my mind. But I'm sure it'll come back to me later. Uh, but yeah, what about you guys? Any other ones that you want to add real quick before we get to the list that we got?
So,
one
oh
of
yeah,
mine is Inception.
Oh,
ooh,
that's a great one.
yeah.
That's a good one, yeah.
You can
I
never
love
go wrong
watching
with
it.
Inception.
No.
A relatively recent one that I've actually found myself watching multiple times is
Can I take a
Before I
guess?
Fall.
Ah, damn, that was gonna.
Ah, what,
I
what
was,
what were you gonna guess?
it wasn't Before I Fall.
No, what was it?
It was gonna be Tully.
No, no, I only seen that once.
Okay.
But that was a good movie though.
Yeah, I
But
know.
no,
I've been meaning to watch it since you mentioned it.
yeah, but no, Before I Fall is man, it's so once again, it's simple, but there's just like certain aspects of the film, like all the rest of them, that you kind of just it draws you back in. There's certain scenes that kind of stick out to you, and it kind of sort of hypnotizes you almost.
I agree.
Uh,
I agree. I watched that movie a few weeks ago. I think I even told you. I was when I put it on, and then you were like, "Oh yeah, that I love that movie."
yeah, and
Yeah.
the soundtrack is lit.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is. Oh, another one that I saw recently that I actually had to watch again a couple of other times. I don't know if it counts in this category. Well, probably not, but I'm just gonna mention it because we're just spitballing tonight. Secrets in Their Eye.
Oh,
oh,
yes, such a
Oh,
good film.
you seen that one, Pranav?
yes, yes.
Yeah, my
With
man.
Chiwetel and Nicole Kidman and Julia
Yep,
Roberts.
yep.
Yo, that movie really caught me by surprise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
I
really
mean that
caught me by
movie. That movie is pretty. It's pretty dark.
pretty dark. Pretty dark. That's like Pranav saying that he puts on BVS whenever he's sad. It's like an understatement. That's like
Yeah,
an
but
understatement.
no, but I mean, yeah, Secret in Their Eyes is definitely more dark than BBS, but
He said it's dark.
yeah, no hope or optimism here.
Okay, so all right, so why don't we go over some of the ones that our listeners and everything have sent in.
Yeah.
Mike, you want to go first? Any ones that have jumped out at you?
Let's see here. Let me pull this back up real quick. Well, yeah, I have to give a shout out to near the top of the list. One of my favorite accounts on Twitter, and you guys are on the list, so don't be jealous. Film Inquiry Podcast Network. I just love their account so much. But they have what looks like Indiana Jones, and is this the first one? The one where he's exchanging the relic with the bag of rocks.
You're gonna make us look really bad because I really don't know.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's not on my most rewatched list, obviously.
Yeah, I see it, but I'm really not
I'm
sure.
thinking that's Temple of Doom, right?
Yeah,
No,
you sure it's
no,
not
no, no.
Raiders?
We should stop guessing. I mean, there's only 3. Well, there's technically 4, but
There's 4, but I'm sure it's not Crystal Skull. I'm sure it's not Crystal Skull.
No, this is young. Harrison Ford. But yeah, that one. That's also got to be on my list of most watched films when I was young, though. But it's been such a long time since I watched those films, and they didn't leave as much of an impression on me. But I remember them pretty well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'm looking at Reverse Ash, whose Twitter handle is at @Ash_and_burn. He mentioned Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which is also one of my favorite films. Shaun of the Dead, which is great. Dawn of the Dead as well. Yeah. This is a fire list, man. This is a fire list. All these movies are great. He also threw in Prince of Egypt
Ooh.
and
Right.
Scooby Doo Zombie Island. So
Ooh.
one of these things does not fit. I'm sorry.
Was that the one that James Gunn did?
Yeah, I think he did both of them actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you know.
Is this the one with
Just make
Rowan
the
Atkinson
sequel.
in it?
Excuse me, Pranav. What you said?
Is this the one with Rowan Atkinson in it? No, sequel, right?
Yeah, Zombie Island is a sequel. The first one is Monsters Unleashed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pranav, any that you see that you find
Oh.
that
Oh yeah. I need to, establish myself as an exile, right?
you gotta do something.
You've done that.
I see some prequel now.
Oh,
Prequel.
yeah.
You talking about Star Wars prequel?
Yeah, Star Wars prequel.
Star Wars is not the only franchise that has prequels. Please, you can't just say prequel love.
Yeah. Do you like the prequels? Everyone knows what you're talking about. The prequels.
Nathaniel Lowell. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Sorry. I think this is the third one, Revenge of the Sith. Yeah.
The masterpiece, Revenge of the Sith. Get it right. Revenge of the Sith is awesome.
Oh,
Oh,
love it.
amazing.
Our really good follower at the New Geeks, new spelled NU, brought up the original Batman from 1989, and he also brought up The Dark Knight and The Departed.
Oh, The Departed.
Here's one by King Largo. That's at King Largo. Says he hesitates between Cloverfield and Total Recall, and then of course Shaolin Soccer. Did you mention that one?
I didn't mention it yet, but I was about to.
But no, this is actually
You stealing my
really
thunder
good.
again. You stealing my thunder again.
I don't even try, man. I think you need to make your thunder harder to steal.
Or I just need to cut you off every time you're about to say something.
Hey, you have the power of editing in your hand. You have the Infinity Gauntlet, my friend.
No. No. It doesn't have to be that way.
With the snap of your finger, you can cut me off after the fact.
So Shaolin Soccer is awesome. I grew up watching this movie.
It's Shaolin, my friend, not
Shaolin.
Shaolin.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
You're gonna drive us crazy.
Like Sal is not even on the podcast.
Get your exile card taken away. Oh my
Sal
God.
is not even on the pod tonight, and this is just I can't do it. I can't. Speaking of Sal, at Salazar, our very own Sal, brought up Independence Day.
My man's.
That's Independence Day. Pranav, come on, hit us up with some, dog.
I found one that I like, Rush Hour 1.
Oh yes. Rush Hour.
From Ano, A-N-O, at Beware Ano.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rush Hour 1, yeah, I love those movies.
Yeah, that's a very good one. At Nolanist, Olivia _ Wonder Woman 84. She has Watchmen.
Ooh,
Sorry. Visionary director Zack Snyder's Watchmen.
yes,
The
yes.
whole thing.
There we go.
We got to get the
Yeah.
whole thing in there.
Hey, I wonder if someone has Academy Award-winning Suicide Squad in here.
Because you don't know it as anything else. If you
That's
tell
what-
somebody
that's
Suicide
to say it
Squad, they'll be
properly.
like, "What's that?" If you tell somebody Suicide Squad, they're like, "What is that?" Yeah.
Yeah. David Ayer.
Scott, a Squadcast from the Suicide Squadcast podcast said that in theaters his most rewatch is Beyond the Sea, but in general, Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's a very good.
Here's
pick.
one. Truth, Love, Faith. Hashtag Black Suit Edition. Goes from Beyond the Sea to Under the Sea with The Little Mermaid. She's gonna be really excited this coming up month here.
You fucking asshole. Fucking asshole, man. I'm gonna leave that in just to serve you right, man.
Oh, hey, I don't even care, man.
He said
I don't.
so, at Recess Broke has American Psycho starring Christian Bale.
Ooh, American Psycho.
Good one. That's a cool.
You know that movie is one of the reasons I can't get behind Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne.
Really?
I keep seeing him whenever he's Bruce Wayne in the movies, and I'm like, oh, that's not Bruce Wayne. That's American Psycho. The guy from American Psycho.
Yeah. No, I can understand that.
I mean, I think it's because of his performance. Like, you know, he did such a good job.
Oh, my
Well, he's a
man.
method actor.
My man Angel Alvarez, at Boy U Fugazi, brought up Miles Teller, J.K. Simmons, directed by Damien Chazelle, Whiplash.
Ah.
Oh, and Mike, your girl is in this movie too, right?
Oh yeah, she was. Yeah, Benoist. Yeah.
Yeah, Melissa Benoist.
Supergirl.
Supergirl, the one and only.
And that show's gone downhill so bad.
Let's not get into that, okay?
Oh no.
That's another podcast.
Hey, that's your fault. Why'd you do this to me?
I mean, I just brought up Whiplash. I didn't, we didn't have to get into that whole thing.
I'm having PTSD flashbacks.
Oh, my Luke Gagne at LUCGAGNE3 brought up one of my favorite superhero franchises, The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, directed by Mark Webb.
Yeah.
Mark Webb. This franchise is never gonna get the love that it deserves. It never will. Like it's such a shame.
Yeah.
Rated.
It's such a shame. At Machuk JM has Gladiator.
Ooh.
No. I'm so sorry. That's not Gladiator. That's Troy.
Oh man,
That's
Exxon
Troy.
card revoked.
Oh, that's Troy. I'm sorry. That's Brad Pitt. That's not Russell Crowe. They look exactly the same.
It's here at who _r _our puts
That's
a
a lot of
Knight's Tale and Atomic Blonde. Really interesting combination.
Yes, A Knight's Tale is great, and Atomic Blonde is great. Even though the smooth-voiced worst hero ever is not a fan.
Silky, get it right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Silky. Well, it doesn't matter. He's overrated anyways. If he has
enemies on every front.
If he's not happy, he can come on this pod and talk to me about it. I'll wait.
Yeah, right.
I'll wait.
Man, he needs to get on the pod, bud.
At Psycho Nigri, at Psycho Niggery. Well, that's not right. Okay. At Psycho Nigiri. Okay. So Nate's favorite movie, most people watch, is Nightcrawler, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. That's such a great movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Please tell me you've seen it.
I've seen it.
Mike, you haven't seen it?
I have not.
Mike is about to get kicked the fuck off the pod.
Again. Again.
I found John T. Papadilla at Movie Streaker. He has a nice list. First three Diehards, Sin City, Hellboy, Crow, and Blade.
Yeah, that is a great list.
Great
That
list.
is a great. Die Hard with a Vengeance does not get enough love. Neither does Blade. Those movies are great.
Yeah.
Those movies are great. At ANTLSOK N100 And one, you know what?
Monday?
uh,
Yeah.
he brought up Jackie Chan's Rumble in the Bronx. I love this movie. It's the first Jackie Chan movie that I saw. It's the movie that made me fall in love with Jackie Chan. Like after this one, I was like hooked. I went out and we rented every single one of his movies that we could find. Super Cop, all of them joints. Like Jackie Chan he just became he just became like part of the family at that point.
Nice.
Here's another one. This is Jack Fu at the Road Jack Scribe says, Hercules, the animated Disney film. I love this one as well. This is another one of my favorite Disney animations.
So you can't be anti-Disney with all this love you giving the studio, dog. You gotta make up your mind.
Their animations are some of the best, most creative
Yeah, but
animations
now
that
they're
have ever
making
been
them in
made.
live action, dog. You should be excited.
Oh yeah, they're gonna adapt it to a live action and cast. Well, they can't cast The Rock again.
Why not? Is he booked that week?
Well, I mean, he's already been in a Hercules.
He's fine. He can do it again. He's probably still got the costume in his wardrobe somewhere.
They wouldn't use that one. You know.
Okay, I gotta read this one because I love it. The Fantasy Movie League, which is another podcast. The Fantasy Movie League podcast at FML Pod. The podcast said I want to say Braveheart, but it is actually Mean Girls. All right, I don't even care. I love Mean Girls. Like I don't even care. I love that movie. That movie's hilarious. That movie is so funny.
You know, another film, actually two films that I'm not sure if you guys have seen these, but The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yes.
Yes.
I saw that.
Yes. I used to watch that film so many times. I love that movie. And
It's actually not as bad as I expected it to be.
no,
And it's not as and it's not as bad as people make it out to be. People say it's like garbage. No,
It's
had
not.
a lot of moments in it. Dorian
Yeah.
Gray. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And another one is The Core. You remember that movie?
Yes, with Aaron Eckhart.
Yes.
That's another good one. That's
I
another good
loved
one.
that film. You know.
Yes,
That was such a good film.
Yes, yeah, like you could tell that they really took their time with the whole science aspect of it all.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, that movie, yeah, that's another good one. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
the scene where he's like in that part of the ship that's like getting like superheated
Yes.
gets me every time. You know, he's like holding onto the rails and everything looks like the air is like the air looks like it's warping and it's crazy.
Oh man, I just found like a bunch of them. Brent at X Not Malcolm, said Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
ooh.
At Hyedanes, said Boondock Saints. At Daggert 1404 brought up Three Ninjas. Have you guys seen Three Ninjas?
Don't believe so.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
old.
Are those the kid?
Yes, the Kid
kids?
Ninjas.
Oh yeah, those movies. Yeah.
Yeah, those movies. Yeah, the first one especially is a classic.
Oh,
And then at Ian Price the 3, Aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah, this
Oh, yeah.
some good ones, man. Like
At Dean Lover 88. Seven Psychopaths.
oh, that's another good one.
That was
At Hidden S also said, I'm also going to pimp Under the Red Hood, which is one of my favorite DC animations, and Lucky Number 11. Have you guys ever seen that one?
I've seen Under the Red Hood.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen.
You guys should check out Lucky Number 11. It's actually a pretty slick movie.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some good ones. Oh, also Spaceballs was name dropped.
I saw several Monty Pythons. I've seen several a few Kill Bills. I've seen several I mean Matrix came up a few times. Oh, V for Vendetta. So I mean a lot of good ones in here.
V for Vendetta, was that me?
No.
I should have mentioned I've probably watched V for Vendetta like 20 times.
Yeah. This is this
me
is
too.
I yeah, this is at Tim Bim.
Good to know I'm not the only one who has trouble.
Yeah. But yeah, he was the V for Vendetta.
Oh, okay.
I still need to watch that film. Oh, Monty Python came up several times.
Whoa, back. I don't. You know what? I'm
You
not.
still
I'm not
haven't watched it? Oh my god.
What, Mike? You've never seen V for Vendetta?
Okay, didn't you just talk about this? It's on the pod, isn't it?
No, it's not.
You can't act surprised when it's on the pod. Oh, it's not. Okay, you can act surprised again.
Wait, you haven't seen V for Vendetta for real?
We just talked about this a few days ago.
Did we?
Yeah, ad nauseum.
You might be right. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry. I had a long week.
When it comes to V, because remember you were making all these quotes.
Yeah, but you knew them all, so I thought you had seen it.
No, I didn't know the quotes. I just knew I could tell you were quoting V for Vendetta.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm such a dick. I'm so sorry. Like I spoiled this joint to end it back. I'm so sorry, Mike.
You that whole time you thought that dude,
Yeah.
you didn't spoil nothing. It's fine, man.
Oh man. Okay, fine. Fuck you then. So at AlphaBot 2000 RBLX brought up the DeLorean and Back to the Future.
Yeah, Back to the Future is a classic.
Oh, Back to the Future is awesome. At Ryan Dookie, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh.
Can't go wrong, man.
Yep.
At Kelly_Riley says she's lost count of the number of times she has seen Wonder Woman.
Love will save the world.
At Paolo CODMW3. I know exactly what that is. Wow. Okay. Dunkirk all the way.
Oh yeah.
I've only seen Dunkirk. I've only seen
flying through the air all day.
I've only seen Dunkirk once.
That tick-tocking. I can hear it in my sleep.
I think it's my least favorite Nolan movie. I've never revisited it.
Michael Domotor at M_Domotor.
Mm-hmm.
The Jaws and Jurassic Park.
Both very good.
Yeah, Jobs came up a few times actually.
Yep.
Another one that I've just seen for the first time at Franzoni Nicolo said The Incredibles.
I watched the first Incredibles so many times, man. That movie is so good.
It really is, even though it is just animation.
No, it's not.
Inside
It's
joke.
a film.
Inside joke. Come on, you know. Come on.
That's
dog.
not. You can't joke about that.
Come on, just keep up, dog. Keep up.
Also, Inside Out is another film I watched. A good few times. I love that film as well. One of my favorite.
I do not like Inside Out. I
know-
do not like it one bit.
Yeah,
Me neither.
I enjoyed it for some reason. I really did.
This is at really_loud. I guess he's loud. He mentioned Fargo. Fargo. So interestingly enough, I watched Fargo for the first time a few weeks ago. And I say interestingly enough because it's one of those movies that I've been wanting to see because I love the series, right? But I didn't like the movie that much. I don't. Have you guys ever seen it?
No.
No.
See, I hear Fargo and I hear Argo, and it all blends together for me.
It's
you know?
completely different. It's two completely different things.
I know.
Like, I'm gonna cut this out of the pod because I respect you too much as a person.
Oh,
Actually,
man.
I'm just gonna keep it in. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
No, I was surprised at how little I liked it. It's not bad, but I don't know. Like, look, man, I love the Coen brothers. But a lot of their movies kind of feel the same.
Oh, do
Oh,
not
Sal.
tell Sal that. Oh, Sal's gonna be coming to you.
like Fargo and No Country for Old Men
Oh,
have a few things in common.
mhm.
Like a few things. I just want to put that out there. I'm sorry, Sal.
Yeah, that's not gonna be pretty in the chat.
Oh my god. You know what? I'm just gonna cut it out because Sal's gonna come. He's gonna fight me. At underscore Lionel said the Fight Club, but he's not supposed to talk about it.
Aha, real clever. Here's one. My pal Mel Weezy at Mel Weezy says Batman: The Dark Knight. You can't beat the Dark Knight, man. Heath Ledger and that whole thing is just. It's already a cult classic. It already is, and it hasn't even been that long.
Yeah, I
Yep.
see what you're saying.
You
I-
see what I'm saying? What are you talking about?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
That's not
It's a
more
good-
like a
it's a good movie. I personally prefer Batman Begins.
Oh, okay.
I personally think Batman Begins is a better movie.
Why? Is it because no one overshadows Bale?
No, not at all. I mean, we saw in The Dark Knight Rises, Bale is not that difficult to
Overshadow.
outside.
Overshadow.
Yeah. No. I just prefer Batman Begins. I don't know. I just think it's like a stronger, more compact film. You know what? I'm not gonna start shitting on The Dark Knight. I'm just not gonna do that.
Yeah. Hey, man. The Exiles, man. You gotta own up to that.
No, man. Worst is already mad at me enough. I'm not going down that road. At AJE Part 1, mentioned the Harry Potter film franchise, the whole franchise. You didn't even pick a movie. You just said the franchise.
Oh. I mean, the franchise is solid though. So
At Partisan Nick Sick, brought up Saving Private Ryan.
Huh.
maybe
I gotta mention this. At Paul Arumardri said Star Wars, The Matrix, and Saturday Night Fever.
It's a really interesting combination.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. At Clifford Sorrell mentioned Wanted.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh,
Like, hey, that's a comic book adaptation.
yeah.
See, all those movies go under the radar. You know, like we forget that those were like comic book adaptations. You know.
If it's not the big two, right?
Yeah.
It goes on the radar.
Oh, this is a good one. At Sylena Wagner, Hollow Man with what's his name?
Oh.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon. Oh, that movie. Oh, I still remember being traumatized by it as a kid.
Really?
I wish I had a collection of all my old VHS tapes because if I did, I would be saying like so much more. You know. Like,
At that movie Jam has Terminator.
okay,
Hmm.
another classic. You know, was a one that I watched a lot as a kid as well. Remember that movie with What About Bob? With
Bill Murray.
yeah, I love that movie.
I love it too. That movie
Yeah.
is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Such a
so
good movie.
And is it Richard Dreyfuss? Who
Let me
plays-
see here. It's been such a
Oh,
long
man.
time, man.
Oh
What?
my god, I love that movie. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness.
Dreyfuss, yeah.
Oh, that movie is exceptional.
Hey,
oh, that's
is that the one that's like, you doggone ate them blueberries, don't ya? You know? Was that the one it was from? Or what was that from?
I think you might be right. I think that might be where it's from.
Yeah, that was so funny. Hilarious.
At BBR92 says Blade Runner and its sequel. I just
Okay.
had to mention this because some people don't appreciate it enough. Some people sleep on it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Here's one from at Zathria. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Another Coen Brothers film.
I like this list from Steve L. Wilkins at LX989. Hook with Robin Williams,
Ooh,
which
nice.
I actually watched this movie a lot as well.
Another great animation that you guys might have. Well, I know you know it, but I'm not sure if you've seen it as many times as I have. Happy Feet.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I know it. I don't
yeah.
think I've ever seen it though.
Oh, you haven't seen Happy Feet?
I'm
Man.
sorry. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Stevie Wonder in the trailer was enough to get me.
I just like this guy's name. Generic douchebag.
Yes.
His ad is at douchebag6627. He has Doom, I think, with The Rock in it, and The Town. Two very weird choices. I'm giving
Very.
this guy a follow just because his name is douchebag.
Your toxic self.
Hey, we're not going down that road again.
I'm gonna put another bounty out.
The last one works so well. At Greg R. MacD, Canadian Geek, says either Jaws or the original Ghostbusters. Oh, this is a good one. At Saskatoon Super One has Wedding Crashers.
I haven't watched it.
I've never seen it, but I'm very familiar. I've heard it. I'm familiar with it.
How have you guys not seen Wedding Crashers?
Oh, wait, Wedding Crashes. Yeah.
Wedding Crashers is
Owen
awesome.
Wilson and Matthew Vaughn, right?
It's Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, Bradley Cooper, Rachel McAdams, Isla Fisher. Oh, that's such a funny movie. Ryan Anderson from the Nerd Rage. Is it Nerd Rage? I want to get this right. Ryan Anderson from the Nerd Rage podcast, aka Nerd Rage Ryan, has Final Destination, the original, and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Steve Martin.
Nice.
Yeah, those are two really good films. At Miss Marion Abbott mentioned Pearl Harbor, and one of my favorite Steve Carell performances, Dan in Real Life.
Haven't seen that.
You guys ever seen Dan in Real Life? Man. So Dan in Real Life stars Steve Carell. He plays a widower who falls in love with his brother's girlfriend while they're staying away while they're staying away somewhere during a holiday period. It's really really good. It's a good movie. The girlfriend is actually played by Juliette Binoche, who's a French actress, and a really cool anecdote. I've actually had the pleasure of meeting Juliette Binoche. Her son went to my school when I was in New York, and she was very kind enough to give some of us like a quick Q&A, and she was like such a sweet woman. I actually still have her autograph somewhere in one of my notebooks that I have kept.
Look at Manu name dropping.
Oh, wait till I tell the story about the time I was on the Maury show.
I get the impression you've seen a lot of rom-coms in your time, haven't you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yo, I love rom-coms. I love rom-coms. I'm not even gonna lie. Like rom-coms they're my guilty pleasure.
What if they made a rom-com comic book movie?
Homie, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That's what it is, man.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Like that's
Good
for me.
point. Yeah,
For me,
good point.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World it's a rom-com. Like it has all of the ingredients for it, and
That's
some
true.
badass action sequences.
You're right, man.
Oh snap! At 68 SHAU Booker, Sean MF Booker. Oh, I just got what the MF was for. He brought up House Party.
Haven't seen it.
You've
Me
never
neither.
like.
Is it a rom-com?
No, it's not. Yeah, I mean, kind of.
half the movies we haven't seen, and half the movies that you say, "What, you haven't seen it?" are rom-coms.
I hate you guys. You guys will not shame me for loving my precious rom-coms.
We just can't relate on that front. That's okay.
Well, start relating.
Hey, we're exiles, okay?
I actually like this one. At Silver 300 Chris, All Dogs Go to Heaven, and Step Brothers.
Ooh, love
Airbud.
love-
I just thought about that. Airbud.
Airbud, really?
Yeah.
You like Airbud?
When I was a kid.
Okay, all right. I can never get into those movies, man.
I've seen a few. Yeah.
You know, I just couldn't suspend my disbelief enough to think that these people couldn't beat a dog at a game. Right?
Oh, you know what? Now that you mentioned that, Home Alone. Home Alone.
Home Alone, yeah, that's really
I've
good.
seen that so many times.
Oh,
Also, Dennis the Menace. I watched Dennis the Menace so many times as a kid.
You and your Dennis the Menace, man.
Dude.
You always bring that joint
Mr.
up.
Wilson.
Sometimes we're talking about something completely different, and Mike will be like, "Hey, this is kind of like Dennis the Menace." Like, no, it's not, Mike.
Dude, you guys need to watch Dennis the Menace, okay?
I've watched it. I just don't remember it. But it used to be a staple back in the day.
It's hilarious. My God.
So at Nathan's 388 has 3 movies, and so one of them is Gladiator, Predator, and Happy Gilmore. Have you guys not watched Happy Gilmore either?
yeah. That's how he came up with his production company, right? He chose Gilmore from Happy Gilmore, and
Mike, sorry, I saw it and I was gonna mention it, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were laughing at.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing it because I passed it like a couple of times, and I'm like, yo, we got a lot of responses. I wish we could just name them all.
by the way, the Scooby Doo and Zombie Island movie, that's the animated one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's not the James Gunn one.
No, not the James.
All
Gunn
right, so
one.
we should apologize to James Gunn.
No, you should apologize to the guy.
Nah, he's fine. He'll live. So
Did somebody mention Lollipop Chainsaw?
Nobody mentions
Hey, we have to
Lollipop
mention
Chainsaw.
all of James Gunn work, okay?
Nobody mentions Lollipop Chainsaw. So at right back at you for James Thompson, Transformers from 2007, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Good.
Classics.
The Real Adela F at the Real Adela F, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite Mission Impossible movie.
Have you seen Fallout?
Not yet.
Okay, maybe you should watch Fallout.
Okay.
Yeah, that didn't sound
That sounds like a-
suggestive.
That sounds like a threat.
Yeah. That sounded like a threat.
You better watch Fallout.
What? It's all fun and games, guys. It's all fun and games.
Until Manu tells you to watch a movie.
I mean, there's so many that you guys need to watch, man. Like, I gotta get you guys on my rom-com joints, man.
Dude, listen. Until I get you on my foreign movie joints,
Oh.
then that's it. Like you have to watch Departures, Shin Godzilla, Battle Royale. You gotta start watching.
You know what? For every one of your joints, you gotta watch one of mine.
Ugh.
No, I think that's a fair trade-off.
I tried this with Pranav, and I cheated.
I'm not Pranav, okay? I am not Pranav, okay?
Yeah.
Hey,
It's like,
I
hey,
didn't.
Pranav is over here. I'm down here. Hey, Robin Hood was lit, okay?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to hurt Pranav for, man? He-
Why do you hate me so much, bro?
You shouldn't have seen. You shouldn't have seen.
Fantastic Beast twice.
He's
Crimes of
twice.
Grindelwald 2 times.
Yes.
He said 2 times.
That should be on your most rewatched list.
He's such a at Oscar_Ben1010 has visionary director Zack Snyder's 300.
Yes.
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. I think we've had enough fun for one night. Oh my god, this was fun though. Yeah, this was fun. We need to do more pods like this.
That was good.
Yes. All right. So why don't you guys drop your ads and we'll get out of here.
You can find me at Pranav PK95 at PRANAVPK95.
Okay, and that's spelled correctly, right?
Yep.
Mike?
Mine is not spelled correctly. That is Velcro16. That's VLKRO. That's Velcro spelled wrong with a K.
Great. And you can reach me at ManUnited0710. You can reach the Film Exiles at the Film Exiles. You can reach us on our email address at thefilmexiles@gmail.com. We are on Instagram. We are on Vero. We are on Pinterest. We're on YouTube. So there's. We're also on Facebook. I always forget to mention Facebook. So if you guys want to reach,
trash, so who cares?
yeah, okay, fine. All right, cool. I mean, that goes without saying. So if you guys really want to get in touch with us, there is nothing keeping you from doing so. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for sharing all of these films with us and just giving us something to talk about tonight. And thank you, Pranav, for joining and, for being here with us. And Mike, I appreciate and hate you at the same time. And I
Appreciate.
appreciate. We're making up words now. That's a little too pretentious, even for my taste.
Oh, man.
And thank you, Manu, for having me on this podcast.
Oh, anytime, man. It's my pleasure to have you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good night. And thank you guys once more.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.